Auburn Crown 0.4, turn 46, straight to the replay, here we go. The carnage that will be the Battle of Castile is starting to heat up. The cannons of Andania are flattening the walls, or the rebuilt walls of Ter Mageb, and my defending units are going to come in for quite a bit of a beating in the not too distant future. It is sad times because, as you can see, well, not most, but at least half of those units that are there are leaders, so they can't do much in terms of defending the honor and the integrity of Castile's walls and people. It's going to be very difficult to actually fight back. I'll see how I go when I get to my turn, but for now I've already lost 2 units and are threatened with others. This elite unit will of course be, well, I love the way they do that. I made them retreat 3 hexes, the elites, and I just love that because it makes perfect sense to me. These are supposed to be things like knights and so forth on horseback. Sure, sure they can be hit by fanatics, but they retreat a long way because they've got the means to do so. Now he's just used 4 fanatic units on my units. That's a lot. Hopefully they'll take a little while to rebuild. Over in Malkan, Silk Sultanate. Yeah, that I'm going to lose Silk Sultanate. There is no way I can stop that from happening. Sure, it's going to cost him a bit, but he's got the means to actually finish me off and then finish off the leader next turn. And I would say that surrounded on 3 sides by powerful units, that will be exactly what happens next turn. So in the south of Malkan, he is advancing northwards, sending out some cannon fodder, I would suggest, in the lead, with elite units and air units behind. Makes perfect sense. It will probably draw me out because I need to actually get rid of a couple of units where I can, even if it leaves me a little bit exposed, and that's what I'll be doing in my turn. Probing attacks continue in Maracas. So now looking at the defences that I've got, the units that I've got a whole heap of new units. So Moradon has a veteran unit. Malkan gets a cavalry, and Silk Sultanate will get a veteran unit as well, except they start with 50% morale, so that means that it's probably just going to come and go in no time at all. But the Tribal League is building up its navy. That's going to be important. They've actually got level 2 sea warfare, so that's good. Sea fighting. Now I'm just going to move, speaking of navies, the fleets of Malkan and Guildford into position, or Angnord into position, and the Big Wolf Elves just moving to the west, continue just to get ready in case they're needed, which at this stage looks like they will, because I'm not sure how I'm going to defend this Castile. I'm going to take a fairly conservative approach, just take out a couple of units where I can, and not try to kill everything in sight. Now the gunslingers are actually really, really good at supporting the defense of that cavalry unit there. The gunslingers are relatively new. Oh, they've been there for ages in Auburn Crown, but actually as properly configured units, they're relatively new. So obviously they're doing a good job. And in that northern part of Castile, I'll take care of that cavalry unit as well. Of course, I suspect that they are pretty much being sent out as cannon fodder anyway, and that the main units are coming behind. So yes, now I've got a couple of alternate capitals in Huntington and further down south in Terzar. If he tries to take that one out at the same time, that would be a good move on his part, because then taking out Angford will be that much easier. All right, but that's for the future. Let's concentrate on what I'm doing here now, trying to build up a bit of a defense. You can see that the Danevirk fleet is quite good, and I need to send them out reasonably soon to do something useful rather than sitting around in port. And like I was saying before, because Terzar is a possible target, I'll upgrade them as much as I can. And put some gold pieces into research. Don't know whether this is going to actually bear fruit, or whether Angford and Angnord will be defeated before that research comes available, but we'll see. All right, taking out this. That's nice, one hit. Wow, very good. And just again being a little bit conservative. I don't want to take out or try to take out too much, because that generally leads to me failing. let's not beat around the bush here. I will weaken them a little bit, take out a few points, force them to withdraw a bit. And that's about all I can do, I think. For Angford, I'll invest in another elite unit, because it's going at cheap at 60% normal value. Right, so now I've decided that I'm going to go on the attack. Not sure that it's the best move, but that's what I'm going to do. So I can probably take out those two units that are leading the vanguard of the approach of the units of Potentia and allies. So heading for that rear one there, I don't know. No, I couldn't take out enough points to finish it off. But I pushed them back over the river, so that's not a bad thing. Of course, if he's got a couple of elite units, they'll be able to get across that river and take out my elite units fairly handily. So what I'm seeing in this game at the moment is that I'm very much on the back foot, and I don't anticipate being able to get on the front foot, which is cricket terminology, in the near future. So I'm really just testing out to see what happens with the game from this point on. And it's quite obvious that Beriand is going to win the game. It's just a matter of when. So in Strategic Command, it might be sort of like 1943, and the Axis player has decided, no, I can't win from here. So I'm just going to keep on punching, basically, and just see how the game goes, because I need to know what the victory conditions are going to look like, whether they play out the way that they should, rather than just sort of dipping out at this point, rather than seeing it through to the end. So the Tribal League continues to build its forces as well, especially its navy. I want to get that up as strong as possible, so I'll probably need to buy some more of that. I've got sea warfare, and I've got 2 levels of sea fighting, with 1 on the way. So that's as good as I can get in terms of naval ability. But I would like to also build up the Air Force. They have a reasonable Air Force that can help with with fighting land and sea. So buy a nice new galley, one level too low on tech, but that's okay. Better to have it on the sea. Xantu still holds out, even though I'm putting more and more pressure on them to join the Tribal League. And I thought I'd have a bit of a look at the graphs here. You can see that Potentia is miles ahead in terms of its land forces. It does tend to get quite a lot of gold pieces as the game goes along. And look, honestly, the right-hand side of those, well, there would be 10 if they were all there, 10 bars is looking better than the left-hand side. So maybe not on that particular chart, but certainly on the one before it. Oh, that's because it's losses. That's why. That's why the left is higher than the right, because I've lost many more units than what he has. Tribal League is the gap there, and I haven't lost anything yet. Now have a look at this. Oh, shameful, shameful. So yeah, the Ancients losing 56 units there, including 14 veterans, 9 infantry, 7 dwarves, and 5 elites. So yeah, that was a big loss there. And looking at the charts, I can't go through all of the charts for all of the countries, so I'll just have a quick look at a couple of them. And it's highlighting the Tribal League at the moment. So looking at Angnords, their gold pieces are all over the place, as you'd expect, given what has happened in the game with them. Alright, let's close out of this and just check how things are going. And we'll end the turn at this point, looking at the map. Frangren has moved, bit of merchant activity. This is the balance sheet, and that's where I'm going to end it. See you next time. Thank you.